Okay. Yeah, I'm still going. I had something to say. I had a big realization just now. I'm just looking at the clock because it says 3:12 a.m. and I gotta get up at 7. And not able to sleep right now because I'm working on email for a customer. And I told her that I would get it out on Sunday. And I was insanely busy with work, so I wasn't going to get out on Sunday. And get a better spot. I was insanely busy yesterday with a big deadline. I think I mentioned it to you guys, but I had that big deadline with the countertops being measured this morning, and the huge relief of pressure from finally meeting that deadline. I've been working for 12 hours a day, more than that, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So 12, 13, 14, 15 hours, and sorry, I'm super tired, so that's why I'm not pulling up numbers right now. But it's 3:02 a.m. or 3:13 a.m. and this came to me. I'm sorry it's not delivered very well or very precise, but I want to get it while it's fresh. Right here, right in my fucking bam. So the other day, I since the accident, I've been using the assistance of whatever I can get my hands on, not in a super irresponsible way, but right before the accident, I had all this natural energy from way before the accident. I started working out, lost the weight, all that stuff. And after dropping 100 pounds, like you could just fucking zoom. And I already have a fucking endless goddamn battery. I'm a very high energy person. I kind of freak people out. When they first meet me, they're like, "What in the fuck am I dealing with?" That's actually part of why I would always drink all the time. Is I would drink all the time to sort of fucking calm myself down because I was kind of insecure how people would take me, and they would sort of be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this I'm dealing with?" Like, there's like a whole fucking thing going on here, and I've actually had people like sit back and like they are like self conscious. My friend Kate, she'd be like self-conscious of me like meeting her new boyfriend, and she's just smiling. She's looking at me and looking at him, and I know exactly what she's doing. And I'm like, what? And she's like, no. And I'm like, you're aware of it. And she's like, yes, exactly. So anyway, I know I come across as a lot, and that's what I drink. Just what makes it better all the time is throw a little liquor at it. That's my motto. So anyway, since I'm not doing that, I was doing that because that was how I was using alcohol as like I wasn't using it as like a emotional crutch or anything. It was different from the opiates. My opiate addiction back in my 20s that I conquered by the time I was like 28, and then I was on Suboxone, and then I battled getting off of Suboxone, which is even harder than getting off opiates. And Suboxone, what it does is you put it under your tongue. I took sublingual ones under the tongue. What you do is you take it 2 or 3 times a day, depending on your level of addiction and tolerance to opiates. And Suboxone is Subox1. That's how it's spelled. Anyway, what it does is it is an opiate receptor blocker, and so by taking it, you cannot go and take an opiate like down 30 fucking Vicodins and be like, ha ha, not that you can do that anyway because of the acetaminophen, but you can't just throw a handful of shit down your hat, take a bunch of oxys, and just get high. In fact, they say, and I don't even think this is really that true, but I'm not sure, never tested it, and this is why, because you don't know if it's true, but they say if you take a bunch of pills, not only will it not make you high, but you might have a counter effect and you might die. You might overdose, they say, on it. Because of the counteraction of whatever the thing is. I forget what the active ingredient is called, but that was not why I fucking came here to you guys right now. I came here now because I just had this fucking realization about Adderall. Alright, so remember, before the accident, when I was a drinker, I was putting down a half a gallon, which is 2.5 fifths. I was putting down a half a gallon every 2 days, guaranteed. That's by myself. It was a bottle of vodka, a handle, and I would buy one. It's $36.99 over where I'm at in Chicago, and you buy a handle, $36.99. That guarantees Shannon 2 days of Shannon juice, right? And so it got to the point where it was guaranteed no matter where it was at any point. I pull up on my Harley, fucking, and I roll up and I hop off and I'm over Hacky Second and Park with my boy Jeff, and like he'd pull out the water, or I'd pull out water. I'm like, anyone want water? And then, or he'd see it laying there next to my bag and he'd grab me and goes, hey, is this regular water or Shannon water? That was like a normal fucking thing. It was like an inside joke. And that's how much I drink. And so I'm drinking all the time to sort of like cool me down. And then after, I don't know, I would get in this habit every once in a while because other people liked it around me. I would get in the habit of having it around. So every once in a while I would take like a little half of a 30 or something, or even a full 30 if I really wanted to get crazy, but I didn't really need it. But I would do it and mix it with the alcohol and everything else, wasn't that crazy? Well, every once in a while. But then, fast forward to the accident. I'm stuck in the ICU. They will not let me move. I'm on a bed. They have me strapped down. I try to break out of the hospital because I don't really understand what's going on. Like, I woke up in the hospital after fucking 10 days of being in a coma, and I woke up and I literally thought like it had been like 10 minutes. I was like, what is all this stuff on me? Like, I was like pulling tubes out of my fucking, out of my hips and out of my, I was just fucking up, and I was like getting out of there. I'm like confused because I was just at a party with my friends, and I'm like just trying to get back to the fucking party and the good time. I was on a sailboat that day. I brought a bunch of friends, and great people. We all go there, and then afterwards we all leave my friend Gordon's boat, his sailboat downtown on Monroe Harbor. We leave there, and that's like my second home during the summer. A lot of you guys know that. I've been there with you guys, some of you, but anyway, I'm down at Gordon's boat, and I was just realizing I'm talking to the comeback crew and also my family, so that's why I just stopped. Sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the story. So the last thing I remember is I had this badass fucking day, and I'm with my crew, I'm with my friends. I'm having a great time. Everything's right. And then I wake up in the hospital. I don't know what's going on. And it took like a whole month, because I was in the ICU for a month. It took a whole month for me to just even understand why I was stuck in a fucking hospital bed, Like, I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. And so you can imagine having this guy locked up in a hospital, like all of this. You can imagine that being a big challenge for the nurses. And so they would constantly be strapping me down to the bed because I would try to break out all the time. See, I had traumatic brain injury, TBI, and traumatic brain injury has a lot of effects with your nerves, your speech, all types of things. I had to learn, I had to get speech therapy. So speech is the head. There's 3 kinds of physical therapy. There's speech therapy, occupational therapy would be waist up, and then physical therapy is waist down, okay? That's the 3 therapies. And so the brain injury made it, I needed a lot of all those therapies, and the speech one specifically would try to help with this, but that plus the mania of my brain injury, it was so bad that my brain was trying to heal itself. And so I was having delusions constantly. And I didn't know what was real and was not real. And so I didn't understand what was going on. They were stopping me from leaving the hospital, but I want to get out of the hospital. I just want to fucking get out of here. And I can move. And I'm not in pain or anything. I had this giant metal structure, though. I mentioned that in one of the other videos. A big metal structure called a fixator, an external fixator hooked into my pelvis, right? And here's the scars. I don't even know if you can see them there. But anyway, so I got an external fixator sticking out of here. And that's the only thing stopping me. Oh, and my left arm doesn't work because of nerve damage internally. The C6, I mentioned that. The bicep muscle doesn't work and allow me to itch the nose until like a few days ago. The surgery is now starting to fucking take. I don't know if I've showed you that, but anyway, I'm going to get back to my original fucking point. And my original point is about Adderall because, let me get back on track with this hospital. All right, so... now, I'm in the hospital, and one thing I do know, is I'm having delusions and I don't know reality and whatever. So I keep trying to fucking book out of there. Sometimes legit reasons, and other times I thought my friend was gonna be an alley. I thought I was like zombies were out, and like I thought a lot of crazy shit. I thought I was in a rocket ship. And that I was gonna go up to space, and anytime we're with each other, or if we're talking on the phone, I'll tell you any of these stories you want, and it's funny, but it gets us off track of this particular message about the Adderall. So, or realization, I should say, not message. That is such a horrible Freudian slip. I don't even, not even Freudian slip, just fucking, I'm tired as fuck, okay? It's fucking 3 in the morning, and I'm not on Adderall, that's the point. This is just me, right? This is what I have to fucking deal with. Could you imagine being married to me? God, that was a lot. I'm a lot too for myself, let alone other people. So. Shout out to my ex-wife. You the man, bro. Anyway, so I had this realization that, and I think you're gonna completely like nod your head in like, oh, thank God, finally. I had a realization that I should never take it. Now, the only reason I started taking it during the accident is because after you're sitting in a hospital bed for so long, remember, I was all fucking cut and fit and just fucking yogaed out and like, yeah, and like ready to fucking like climb a mountain, like fucking climb a tree and like punch it down and then like kick a tiger in the face, you know, like I wear my clothes for that reason, like everything's like stretchy and moves well, and I do yoga and I'm constantly fucking physical and active. And I'm stuck in the hospital bed. Then when I get out of there after 30 days, now I'm stuck on the fucking couch. And then like I'm running around outside, and my daughter, my poor fucking daughter, oh my God, the things she had to deal with all this. I will get into those things later. But I kept running around, and what happened was, everyone got really mad at me. My daughter and my brother, Brian, they had an intervention with me. Like, you'd think it was like a drug intervention, but it wasn't. This is how simple they had to keep it because of my brain injury. And I had no drugs. I had no access to anything, but they just had to deal with me with home care. And they were afraid that if I ran around outside, that I was going to do damage to my pelvis and the external fixator. There was a no weight bearing rule with it, and that's why they had me stuck in the hospital bed and strapped down sometimes, because there was an alarm on the bed, and if you get up off the bed, the alarm like signals not in the room, it signals out in the nurse's station to tell them fucking bed 7 is out again, god damn it. And they would go running down, and I think I'm running full speed, and I can barely walk, but like in my head I'm like, yeah, he's going, oh, he's going soon. And so anyway, they would like casually come over there and be like, oh, Shannon's trying to get up sometimes. And they get in front of me like, hey, we should turn around. It wasn't quite that bad. I did get past there. I got to the door almost quite a few times. And then some of the other things, like I thought I was like running around outside and stuff. And it turns out, and I thought I was in a boat, not the sailboat, I was talking about a different one, a yacht with all the doctors. And I thought I was outside like at night a bunch, but it turns out that there was a brain injury, all of it. And it really, like, it seems like, like in my head it seems all real, but then I put 2 and 2 together, and me and my daughter kind of sorted it out a little bit, and I was able to then sort out what was not real and what was not real. Like going to the moon in a rocket ship, you know, because I worked on Trump's campaign, and he had COVID and had to go into quarantine and went to the moon. That seemed like a easy thing to identify as not being a real memory, right? Like, oh yeah, that's a delusion. But then there was other ones, and could have. Like, I could have like ran out to. I could have got outside and made it out there to meet my buddy Billy and like score a little bit of fucking Tito's, you know, out in the car and like spill a little bit of it, and like fucking kick a tiger in the face, real quick, and then go back into my hospital bed before anyone notices I'm gone. I guess it took me a while to sort that out. I thought my friend Delaney and my friend Kasha both were working at the hospital. For months after I got out, I was telling the story to Karolinka and a few other friends. Like, I was dead set it was real. Brittany and a bunch of other people, I was like, I don't know if I told Brittany, but I definitely told Karolinka and Sean, and they were looking at me like, "Yeah, well, dude, that's crazy. I gotta talk to them about that. I didn't know Tasha and Delaney worked at the boat to work off their debt from the hospital because they didn't have insurance, but they had to go to the hospital. And turns out neither one of them ever did. So that's a hard one to figure out because I really thought I saw them there. Weird stuff. Anyway, back over to the Adderall realization. So, my realization tonight, and this will make plenty of sense, is I cannot do Adderall ever, and I already took care of all of those situations. I cannot ever do it, and it's not going to be something that I just normally have around me. If I ever do, it's like a little like emergency stash, like in case of whoever needs something, break glass. But it's not something that bothers me that it's around where I'm like, oh, I got those five fucking animals over there, I gotta get them. It'd be more like if I ever did have some, I would be like, for that you get it. But I'm just can't. It can't be something that I just like take to help me. My whole fucking story with the fucking funny stories with the hospital bed. Long story short, they forced me to sit on my ass. They confronted me and forced me. They said, if you walk around outside ever again, you are going to. We are never going to talk to you again. My daughter said, I can imagine. It saddens me so much, but I can actually imagine the reality of me having a kid one day and you never knowing it. That's what she said. Really amazing, cool, smart, wise, amazingly well thought out, beautiful daughter I have, and but she said that, and so I took it seriously, and I fucking laid there. I laid there, and it was horrible. I ended up getting sciatic nerve pain, and then my muscles all atrophied, and then I couldn't walk, and then sciatic nerve pain made it so bad where I couldn't get up and go to the bathroom. I was walking around just fine, and because of a few weeks of bed rest, I then started having such bad sciatic nerve pain I couldn't move. And then I lost the ability to walk properly, and my hips started, and I started walking like this, and then I needed a walker, and then it got so bad I couldn't get from the walker, so I had to go in the wheelchair. And then my best friend in the world, my fucking brother, and my lover from another mother, is Billy Yerkes, and love you, Billy Yerkes. He doesn't have Facebook, so probably never see that, but for my brothers, I now decided I'm going to post this stuff on Facebook so that my ex-wife can see it, and my daughter, and my brother can see it, and a few others, and then everyone else and whoever else, because at the end of the day, living an authentic life, speaking truth into the world, and meaning what you say, and knowing what you mean, and that is all a part of being authentic and living an authentic, true life, and that makes you solid and centered and unable to take in criticism, which gives you a confidence that you can walk around and be okay because no one's got anything on you that you haven't already fucking shared and you don't got on yourself. So that's what I'm trying to do. And so I was at the bed rest. Oh, and so then I couldn't walk, and so then I couldn't walk. I lost the ability to walk, and then once I got the ability back when the sciatic nerve pain went away, and the fixator was removed surgically, that's when they said it's fine for you to walk now. So then it was back for Shannon was back out he was on the loose. He was given the go. And the thing was I didn't know how to walk, so that was a long journey of itself. And a lot of physical therapy, including acute therapy. I went to which basically means you stay in a hospital, back to that fucking hospital bed with the alarm, motherfucker. After almost a year, I had to volunteer my ass. After 8 months or 9 months after the accident, I had to voluntarily go to Lutheran General, and go there to acute therapy, which is you stay overnight for 10 days in a row, and you stay overnight, and you basically, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you're just doing work. It's all three of them in my case. Most of the people on my floor were elderly people. There were a few there was one kid that was like 24 that was a motorcycle accident. That was really cool. It was really interesting, and just to see him was not like we talked or anything. And I saw a few other guys that were like in their 50s or whatever, and some guy with a stroke. But anyway, I was one of the only ones on the floor that needed all three therapies all at the same time, other than the stroke guy. So, oh, where was I going with that? Oh, and so therapy, and then, now it's time to go back to work, right? Time to go back to fucking work. So, like, how am I gonna do it? Like, I fucking lost all my momentum, like all of it. I mean, it's really hard to all right. So you're sitting down, right? And someone says, grab that off the ceiling. It takes effort, a lot of energy to like stand up out of the seat. Let's say you're in the car seat in like shotgun, and you're deep into like a Corvette, and someone's like, hey, you get out and like start running. It takes a lot more energy to get out of the Corvette and start running on the street than it would be if you're like already walking kind of briskly and someone's like, hey, run. Boom, you just start running. That's momentum in life, okay? And everything. And I lost all momentum in all of life, okay? All of life, all of it at the same time. So I had to restart everything. And so I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to walk. I didn't know how to work. And when I say talk, it was like this. I would talk and I would forget what I was talking about. So I'm a talker, like I've always been a talker. That's like, I'm a salesman, I'm a contractor, so, self-employed. So I have to sell myself every day, and I have to build a relationship with the customer, and then I have to take a customer who doesn't know anything about how to fix a house, and I have to communicate to them in a way that's very clear and easy to understand exactly what I'm going to do. I've been really good at that since I was a little kid. I used to help the teachers all the time in math class because I was good at math, and if there was a kid that had a problem, like figuring something out, and he was sitting next to me or near me, then like the teacher tried to tell him and give him a tip, but she's an older generation, and different generations learn different methods of math, and so for whatever reason I just saw his problem and I understood how to describe it to him in a different way, and by doing that she saw that I was a good teacher, someone that could help relay information and from here to there. And so she put me in charge of like helping students, and it's been like that my whole damn life. Like even in trade school, and went up to Queen American Institute to Heating and Air School, when I was in there, it was just me, and like it was like mostly like, it was like a lot of minority dudes in there. I mean everything like 30s to 50s, mid 50s. There's about 20s. It's like 22 to like 50 something. That was the age range, and it was like a lot of Hispanic and black dudes, and then me, and for some reason, like I was able to help when we were in a shop, which is like when you're actually like working on machines and like taking the classroom theory and doing it. I kind of already understood since I was a little kid how things were built. I like built skate ramps when I was a little kid, when I was like 6. It was my first Christmas present that I remember was a tool set. It's a Craftsman tool set, and when you open it up, it was like this wood box. When you open it up, there's a little hammer in there, and there was a little saw in there. And the saw was fucking real. And I mean, I used that thing for years. Like, you can fucking cut a 2x4. I mean, it takes a lot of effort. But, I mean, it's ding, ding, ding. It's like a real thing. And it was like a real metal hammer. And, like, it had, like, a little drawer that you pull open. And it had these little rolls, I remember, of sandpaper, different grits and stuff. And so that's how I learned about grits and about everything. And I would go up to my grandpa, because my grandpa was remodeling the back porch of our house. It was a back deck, and he was turning it into an in-house, a part of the house. He was turning it into an addition on the house for a bedroom, because we're in an old Victorian house, fixed amount of land, and we needed more space for my brother. And so my grandpa was in the trades, my uncles were in the trades on my mom's side, and my grandpa was there, and my uncles were there doing this building this addition for Brian's bedroom, my oldest brother, in the back of the house. And I would be all up in his way all the time. I think this is around 5, 6 years old, and I'd get in his way. And my grandpa's like, all tough asshole type of guy, tradesman. He's walking by, and he's like, yeah, he had emphysema and shit because he had like one lung, smoked like crazy when he was younger. He didn't smoke anymore. He talked to you like he was gonna die all the time because he literally could have died all the time. But whatever. So at this point, he probably had like 1.5 lungs still. But by the time he died, he was like, I don't know, like a quarter of like half of one or something. Yeah. So enough about my grandpa. So anyway, I would go up to my grandpa, and I would be like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on? You bigger human that seems to be doing things?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't have time for you." And he would give me a bunch of fucking 2x4s. He would put two by 4s next to or on top of each other, and he would take a fucking 6-penny nail and he'd put it on there and go. He's a real fucking man. He knows a hammer. So he would literally, a fucking big ass 6-penny nail, he'd put it through two by 4s in 3 swings. Boom, boom, boom. That is actually a skill. It's a learned skill, and it takes a long time to get there. And I'm still not as good as my grandpa at hammering like that because I use a drill equally as much as a hammer, because nowadays drills don't have to be plugged into a wall. They are, there's something that have a battery, and you can like slip it right here onto your pocket, and it hangs from your pocket. So literally everything I do is just like an extension of me. I'm like, boom, 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 working on this downspout. It's like that, where back in the day, it used to be like that with a hammer. You'd pull it out and you'd flip it, which that's what I do with a hammer too. But, whatever. You pull it out, and then you boom, boom, boom. So he uses a hammer so much differently that he can like bam, bam, boom. And he does like 2 of them just to keep the two 2x4s together. Then he pulls out a bunch of nails and he just goes, do, 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 do. He like starts them with a little tiny tip, and he's like, that'll show him because it's a big ass fucking nail, and I'm a little ass dude. So he gave to me with like, I don't know, 20, 30 fucking nails sticking out of it. And he goes, here, put all these nails into the other one. Come back to me. He was just trying to get rid of me. And I was like, well, here, that's right, bang. You don't take this, and he goes over and I fucking put it down, and that's how I learned how to hammer. And unfortunately for him, like 20 minutes later, I came back and I was like, here you go, or whatever the fuck it was, I actually did that shit. He was always doing that. And I used to make skateboards for ramps and all types of shit when I was a kid. It's just in my genes. Anyway, I was talking about fixing stuff. And then, let's go to, I am a home repair guy. That's what I do for a living, 2-year repairs. I also have a gutter cleaning company, or used to, and have been a big part of my life as well. So I do home repairs, and I clean gutters as well. And so with the home repairs, it's been a while since I've done them, and I don't know how to get back from laying no momentum in any part of my life, just laying there. And then they're like, you can walk again. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And I thought I could go, yeah, boom. Unfortunately, I couldn't do anything. So I go through like all the boot camps and all the things, and made a lot of progress. And I'd be in speech therapy. I'd be learning simple things because I used to not use a lot of like lists and stuff. And I learned about like lists and organization and things like that. And it was cool. In the process, my whole point of bringing it way back, all the way down to Adderall, is lately I found myself, since I had the ability to get the Adderalls, I found myself with the opportunity to I'd get them from people around me, and I'd be like, this might help, and of course it helps sometimes. Well, now I'm getting it again, and I'm like, this will help, I don't know, and I take it, and I go from into like, okay, it's not that great, but I can move, it's like that. So, I had a realization because it's not like I have a problem with Adderall or anything. I've been using it super fucking responsibly. This is the realization. I cannot take it because I cannot be certain that what I'm doing right now. Okay, the thought came from this. When people are looking at me, if I do have some on me, like in me. I mean, if I like took half of 15 or whatever, and then I find myself done with work because I would usually use it for work, and I'm done with work and I'm at like a friend's house or at home dealing with whoever in a social setting, and the people like would look at me and they're sort of like, you're cleaning, you're scrubbing your bathtub at 4 in the morning. I'm like, okay, Um, when they would look at me like that, I would always have in the back of my mind like a thought like, no, they think I'm too much, and then I'd be like, am I too much? And does Adderall play any part of that? Like, is there still Adderall in my system from 9 o'clock this morning? You know, and I would be thinking about it, and it made me second guess myself and rethink myself. And so that's how I decided like I need to just like not even take it for personnel because I don't need it anymore. I used it for a small little time there, and I don't want to keep using it and then have it blown my adrenal glands and have me like fuck up parts of my system that make it harder and harder for me to build momentum because my momentum is getting better and better every fucking day. Like I'm fucking moving around, which is crazy. I'll show you guys videos of like how I started, like I remember the first time I sat there and I tried to like bend my knees and like crouch down into a full crouch position like this. Like this right here is insanely fucking really awesome for me to be able to do, and it's a really important part of yoga. Is being able to do this pose, and work sweaters. So being able to do this is an important thing for me. But there was a video, my mom has it, you can ask her for it, where she has me going like this, and I went like this, and it took a long time. I won't do it in this video to shorten it up. But when I got down here, I was like, huh, and I was so happy. I wasn't that far though. I was probably here, and I looked so happy. And I went from that. That was about a year ago. This time, I went from it was right after I got out of acute therapy. Oh my God, that was January 7th. Last year, January 7th is when I got out of acute therapy. Wow, that's fucking cool. Okay, anyway, that was a coincidence, this whole thing. That wasn't like on my mind or anything. It was about to be the anniversary. I don't really think about acute therapy that much anymore. And that's why I wouldn't even thought of the anniversary. That's cool. But anyway, yeah, Adderall. I'm just not going to put it in my body because when I am dancing around my house, doing emails at 4 o'clock in the morning, and anyone's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, back, wanna chill out? I can be like, I can't, I don't want to, So now I don't have to feel crazy about that. Because as long as I have energy during the day, that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I know some people are gonna probably be concerned about me, and be concerned. Thank you, and also I watch out for myself too. Love you. All right, brothers. Peace out. And I was actually speaking to you, Rich, when I said that. All right, yeah, I'm gonna call you out, Rich. Rich Speck. All right, you are my Papa Bear. You're my protector here in the Combat Club, and so I was kind of doing a sleight of hand there, or no, sleight on you. Sorry, I should say. Man, I'm fucking tired. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed, dude. Guys, everybody, brothers, and I love y'all, and peace out.